Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Mike, this is Build and Tinker, and today we are going to cover off issues 83 to 86 of this Ford Falcon XBGT. The last video we got the interior in, we got the seats and everything done, and it's really looking quite good. So this first issue we're going to do the firewall, and looks like there'll be some other engine bay components, so let's get going. So in this issue we are installing this firewall, into which there is going to be a small speaker, and we've got the speaker bracket. I think this answers the question I posed in the last video about whether or not this car has audio. It obviously does, and whether or not we're going to be upgrading that audio, and we definitely are. Anytime you see one of these speakers, you know the sound's going to be pretty terrible. These small Mylar speakers are not capable of producing good sound. Combine that with the fact they use very low-grade microcontrollers in these cars that are capable of, very, very highly compressed short bursts of audio. They don't use proper audio controllers. They just use pulse width modulation normally to sort of fake an audio signal, and it sounds pretty terrible. So we are going to be upgrading that with the product that I've mentioned before but isn't out yet, so bear with us. Once that product is launched, I will be covering how we get that into the car, and if the car's already finished, we'll just take it apart and put it in. So let's crack on with this. So we're going to firstly remove the speaker from its packaging, and it sits into this recess just here. We want the cable facing up in that direction. There's a small bracket here which sits over the top. There's a couple of little recesses in the holes here of the bracket so that it sits nicely over there. And we're going to put a couple of PS14 screws in to hold that down. And there we have the speaker installed. Pretty straightforward. Now if we want to see if the speaker works, we actually have a means to do that using the Test Circuit Pro, because it has a speaker tester built in. So we simply attach the speaker cable to the Test Circuit Pro and press the sound test button. And we're greeted with a tune, which is probably familiar to you, and you'll also see the light flashes in time with the tune, and that's just to tell you that it's playing the tune, because if there was no sound coming out of the speaker, you want to know for sure that the sound's being sent, right? So that confirms the sound is sent, and obviously the sound confirms that the speaker is working. And that's the end result for issue 83, so pretty quick and easy. We'll move on to issue 84. So in issue 84 we get quite a few small pieces. I mean, this looks like a brake servo or something, so they're probably all going to attach to the firewall. So let's have a look. So we'll pop most of these to one side and just show you the pieces we're using. And we're starting with this brake reservoir. It's got three posts on the side there, that's how you identify it. And this open front, onto which we're going to attach this cover. Now it has a post in the middle, which I think is offset to ensure that you get it the right way up. But if you're not sure, the larger of these bulges goes at the top, and the small rectangular one goes at the bottom, and it just slides over. It doesn't appear to have any screws, and it's not the tightest of fits, so I'm thinking I might put just the tiniest bit of glue on that. That's very rare for me to get glue out during one of my videos, but on this occasion I'm going to. The glue that I like to use is this Gorilla super glue. I find it works quite well, and it doesn't damage the parts. I also find that the good thing about it is that it's got this special nozzle that doesn't squirt everywhere, but also it doesn't clog up. So you never end up with glue clogged up inside the spout. And now normally I do this under a lens so I see what I'm doing. So just going to get the glue started. So I've just got a very small amount of glue on the tip of this cocktail stick. I'm going to put that on. Yeah, you probably can't even see it, and then I will attach it. So with the cover glued on, we're now going to attach this to the brake servo. We want the servo this way up, and this will attach. So if we look at the bottom, there's this piece here, there's a post and a screw hole, so it very simply goes on like this and screws in from behind using a PS14 screw. And now we're going to attach that servo to the firewall, so we want it this way around. Obviously it goes on this piece just here, and it sits in like that, obviously with the reservoir facing upwards. A couple more PS14 screws in the back. Okay, so that's our brake servo. We take this canister, and it has a little tab and a post, and it goes next to the servo in this hole here. We just push it in so the tab goes in to that little recess, and again we screw that in with the PS14. Then we have this piece, it's the wiper motor, and it's going to go here on the top. So again, there's a post and a screw hole, and we sit the wiper motor just in here, and that uses a PS11 screw. And then there's a vacuum hose. Now one end of the vacuum hose has this sort of fitting on it. The other end is just sort of the termination of the hose. The end with the fitting is going to go here on the brake servo. Okay, so that's in there like that. It is keywayed so that it fixes the orientation. So this end, I don't know what that goes into yet. I think it's part of the engine. So now we need to install this to the chassis. So the first step is to basically offer up the firewall. So we're putting this between the engine and the dash. There are some cables here we need to think about. This one is connected, so we'll leave that where it was. This one is also connected, but the LEDs come out, so we need to push that back in. I'm not quite sure how these cables route right now. So it wants us to take this cable, which is cable 1, comes up from the middle of the car, and push it through this rectangular opening here. I'd bring the label with it as well, and that plugs into this plug also labelled 01, which is for the turbocharger. We also need to plug the speaker in, that's 09, and we're looking for 09 coming up through the centre of the car, and that's here. We're going to connect those two, so that's our speaker plugged in. Still not sure what's happening with this one, number 2. I'm just going to drop the firewall in place and see what happens really. It seems to have found its home reasonably nicely. It's sitting down kind of okay. There are a lot of other cables here that seem to just be floating about. I'm not really sure where they're supposed to be. So before we drop it down, there's this hose here. It's got like 2 hoses in one, but it ends in this sort of single piece. Comes from the front of the engine. We're bringing it around here, and there is a hole just here. We're going to stick it into that and hope it stays. I mean, I don't have a lot of luck with hoses. Most of my models have got half of them missing. I just don't care. Okay, so that one's in. We've still got a couple of other hoses. It's popped straight out again. There's literally no means to hold it in. Okay, that hose, like every other damn hose I've ever installed on any vehicle, has just popped off repeatedly. So I may or may not glue it, or I may just do what I normally do and stuff it in that general area and hope nobody notices. So please don't tell anyone. There's another hose here that comes off the back of this. I think it's either the alternator or an air compressor or something. There is I mean, it just falls off. They just all fall off. They're so irritating. There's a post somewhere down here that you're supposed to be able to see, and just here, and it goes onto that apparently for all of about 3 to 4 minutes, and then it drops off again. Okay, so that's in. So it seems to be sitting down. I've got all the cables tucked behind it. I mean, they conveniently give you pictures that are so small you can't see where anything's supposed to go. Maybe it's just me and my dodgy eyesight, but you know, things like this, a tiny little yellow highlight of something somewhere in the middle of a wheel arch that you're supposed to be able to see. But it's in, so there's that. Apparently we are going to screw it in now using some PS11 screws, and the screws go here on this side wall of the engine bay. Okay, so that firewall is now in, and the screws in this side, it's a little bit more rigid. But we still have hoses popping off everywhere. They just drive me up the wall. So we still have this side one to put in, yeah, and then we'll obviously attach the other side of the firewall. There's still this pipe that we install onto one end of the brake servo, and the other side is it drops onto sort of what looks like the engine block. Just down there, if you can see it, just there. It's almost lined itself up with the hole on the block. Let's see if we can get it finally in place with the tweezers. Okay, that's now in. So that's the final step for issue 84. Let's move on to issue 85. So with issue 85, we're basically doing the other part of the side of the car, of this engine bay. So one of the first things we need to do, we'll just get these cables out of the way for the minute. We're going to finish off the front suspension here. There's quite a lot of parts of this issue, and the first one is this. It's the bottom half of the suspension, and it's going to go into this here, same as we did on the other side. And then we've got a small roll pin that we need to push into it. Well, it's not a roll pin, it's a nailed pin that we need to push into it to hold it in place. And for that we need our needle nose pliers. So we've got it started, we've got the pin started through here. Difficult to see at the moment with that camera angle. But if you can see, it's just here and it's going through this piece here. And we just need now to finish it off, basically, get it pushed all the way in. We put our needle nose pliers over it and give it a squeeze. So that's definitely moved in, hasn't it? You can't really see what you're doing. Okay, I'm happy with that. That's all the way in and attached. Now we move on to this piece here. This is the other side of the engine bay. We need to attach the horns. So here's the horns, and they have like a cable coming out. So the cable goes out to our left, and they just sit in that recess there. And we're going to screw those in with a PS05, 2 PS05s. Okay, so there's the horns installed. Now we're going to make up a fluid tank. Doesn't say what fluid goes in it, it just calls it a fluid tank. So we have a top and a bottom. The base goes on. The base goes on that way. Okay, so it looks like that. There's a screw in the middle to hold it together. Another PS05. So we need to attach that to this engine bay wall, and it goes on this side here, and you can see it will only go that way up. Again, we screw it in place. More PS05s. And then we're going to take the upper part of the suspension, and that needs to go on the inside here, so that it presents a screw hole through the turret mount. PS11 for that one. Okay, so that is now installed in that. We now fit our cap. This is the cap for the turret, just to cover the screw over. There's 2 screws that hold this in, and there's 1 pin. Interestingly, they've had us put this in before fitting the panel to the side. On the other one, they had us put the side in first and then try and fit this, which was quite hard because the wheel was in the way. So it's almost like they figured it out but didn't go back and change the instructions. So 2 PS17 screws for this. So there's our cover. Next we need to install this onto the actual vehicle itself. So then we put the spring over the top half of the shock. We're going to now put this whole assembly over here. We need to get the spring over this and get this engaged into the other half of the shock absorber, whilst making sure none of these cables fall down on us, because they won't seem to stay out of the way, and getting the side panel lined up. I mean, easy peasy, surely. Can't see. Oh, and not knock any hoses off the engine, which is inevitable. I think I've got it in place roughly, but obviously I'm having to hold the tension against the spring, so it wants to ping out again. So let's see if we can get some screws in. It actually tells us to start with the screws for the firewall, the PS11's over here. Seems a little odd, but we'll go with what they say. Okay, so that's attached the side wall to the firewall, the side panel to the firewall. And now we're going to push the whole thing down and try and get the other screws in. So DS10s, there's 3 of them. We know that two of them go to the front here because you can see this hole and it lines up with this frame rail. So I might start with that one. Just got that one started. And we'll see if we can find the one towards the back. Okay, it's all the way down here. I can't see with these hoses in the way, but it's all the way down here by the bottle. Okay, and then our final one is slightly obscured by this alternator. It's in there somewhere. Oh, it's just about down there. Okay, there it is. You can see it now. So that's the end of that issue. We now have the other side of the engine bay installed, and we've completed the suspension now on both front wheels. Steering's still working. Two cables sticking up here. I'm not quite sure where they're going to go. They're obviously for the front of the car, I'm guessing. Headlamps and what have you. Other than that, it's looking pretty good. We will now move on to the next issue, which is number 86. So we don't get a lot in issue 86. We just get these two brackets and some screws to attach them, and they go to the front of the car, and I think they're just used to help attach the main body when it comes. So let's have a quick look. So they're tapered. They are also stamped L and R, so we know which is which. So obviously this is the left-hand side of the car. We'll start with that one. And they have these screw posts at the bottom. So it's going to go this way around, and there are two holes in the chassis just here. So the two holes in the chassis are just here, behind the wheel and next to this big post that sticks up here. And it looks to me like this goes down into this gap, and then it sits like so. The screws go in from underneath, so we need to sort of hold that in place. And I'm going to tip the car onto its side because we can't really put it upside down at the moment. And we're going to screw these in from underneath, just here. The screws we're using, by the way, are PS14s. Okay, and we'll flip the car over and we'll do the exact same thing on the other side. In fact, you can insert this with it already on its side. So we have at the end of this issue, and those are the pieces installed. So that's the end of issue 86 and the end of everything for today's video. Please remember to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. The vast majority of my viewers are not subscribed, and it would really help me out if you just click that button. It costs you nothing. Click like as well if you enjoyed the video, and do leave a comment below on how you're getting on with your build. I really like the way the models are shaping up. Can't wait to get on to the next video, which I will be filming immediately after this one, and then we'll be all caught up. So have yourself a great day, enjoy the rest of it, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.